Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Online. This is Captain Ron Phillips here. And today, in honor of our new Star Trek show, Strange New Worlds, starting up, which is 10 years before the original series, we're following Kirk, not following Kirk and Spock and McCoy. We're following Pike and Spock and Una, who is number one, and Cadet Uhura, as we saw in the last episode that came out. So in honor of that, we're going to start this new set of story missions here. The first one is called Skirmish, and it'll start a chain of episodes that will have us go back into the 23rd century, around the time of the original series. So we'll be able to meet up with Spock and McCoy and Scotty, and I don't know if there's anybody else we run into. Maybe Chekhov? I don't think so. But so we're going to do this episode, which will take us back and forth between time. So just like Strange New Worlds is taking us back and forth between time, we're going to start our little skirmish and go back and forth between time into the 23rd century. Picking up multiple hostiles, contacts, Klingon and True Way. I can understand the Klingons being here. They've been trying to clean the system for months, but why the True Way normally don't leave Cardassian space? They have no reason to be here. They're refusing to respond to our hail, sir. We may have to board one of their ships to get some answers. Oh, lovely. Holy crap. Now I got friends. My goodness. My goodness. Now it's time to board the Axion here.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Alright, the flagship, the Axon, has been disabled. Her warp core is stable for now. Recommend we get a closer look. Absolutely. Way team standing by. Alright. There we go. Good asset security teams are already starting to move in on our position. We should expect heavy resistance. Alright. Head to the bridge. Everybody healed up good? Looks like it. What? Am I going the wrong way? No. This way, dummy. Alright, heal up. Good goody. Disable security's full. I should take care of all the security measures between us and the bridge. I don't expect the Cardassians to give up that easily, though. They will probably send more security teams to intercept us. Yep. I believe that. That is an odd warp core, though. I'll give them credit for that. That is an interesting warp core. Huh. Oh boy. There we go. What the heck was those? Did you see that? Yes, I did. Investigate dead Cardassian. Captain, what were those things? The Cardassian doesn't have any wounds on him, but my readings show that he was dead before we entered this room. I recommend that we find a medkit and perform an examination of the corpse. We need to know more about what happened to him. If he was attacked by those creatures, we need to be cautious. Any contact may be lethal. Thank you, Doctor. Oh. There it was again. Is there something wrong with the environmentals on this ship? Investigate dead Cardassian. This Cardassian looks to have died from the same cause as the Cardassian we examined in the mess hall. We need to find a medkit to know more about what happened to them. Alright, well, I got the medkit. All the medical equipment in this kit has been sterilized and is ready to use. The medkit has a variety of standard medical tools available for use. However, before the medkit, using it to examine the remains of the Cardassians in the mess hall, it would be beneficial to study the medical records of the corpses in the stasis and the sickbay. The background data of these patients will prepare you for an examination of the remains in the mess hall. So we gotta study the medical records. Alright. So we got that one there. What happened to you, pal? Patient was admitted with a plasma burn caused by an exploding EPS conduit. The wound was treated by using a protoplaser as the patient was admitted to sickbay for sedation and observation. Patient suffered a neurological event resembling a cerebrovascular accident while sedated and was unable to be resuscitated. Further examination into the patient's death is pending and an autopsy by the CMO. Okay, I don't think that had anything to do with it. Poor bastard all the same. Alright, what happened to you? Patient admitted with a fractured tibia suffered while in the holodeck. The bone was splintered and treated with a regenerator. Patient returned later complaining of pain in the treated leg as well as an elevated body temperature. Patient was then treated using a T-cell simulator to stave off any possible infection. Patients continue to worsen while they are being continually treated to boost their immune response. Patient died 6.2 hours after injury. Due to the extreme rate of deterioration in the patient, an infection is unlikely. Fear of a contagious agent being responsible has resulted in quarantine protocols being enacted. The cause of death is yet to be determined. Corpse will be placed in stasis field pending further examination by the CMO. And what happened to you, pal? Patient admitted complaining of extreme nausea and fatigue. Preliminary exams inconclusive. Patient held for overnight observation during which condition worsened. Patient died at 23:52 hours. Quarantine protocols put in place on CMO's orders and a level 8 force field is in use to prevent the spread of unknown, possibly infectious agent. Force field may not be disabled without command level voice authorization. An autopsy on the patient was conducted using a laser scalpel to open the chest cavity. All organs were intact and showed no sign of trauma or infection, which would explain the patient's demise. Cause of death remains undetermined pending further investigation. Sorry, dude. Hey, what happened to you? Patient admitted complaining of pain and inability to concentrate on assigned duties. Patient was treated with hydrocortisone and told to rest. Psychological evaluation was scheduled. Patient returned several hours later saying that neither the medication nor rest had helped. Patient was treated with a larger dose of hydrocortisone and admitted to sickbay for observation. During this period, patient fell unconscious and was unable to be revived. An autopsy was conducted using a neural-light probe to obtain a sample of brain tissue. Examination of the neural tissue did not show any signs of infection or trauma that would result in any headaches or fatality. Cause of death remains undetermined pending further investigation. Jeez. Patient admitted with a severe laceration suffered while working in engineering. The wound was closed using an auto suture, and the patient was released with instructions to refrain from active duty and return for another examination in 24 hours. Patient returned as instructed, complaining of headache, elevated body temperature, and nausea. White cell count was elevated, and preliminary analysis shows signs of systemic infection resulting from contamination of wound site. Patient was held in sickbay for treatment and observation. However, the infection spread rapidly, and treatment with standard antibiotics was unsuccessful. A more rigorous treatment regime was formulated, but also proved unsuccessful. Patient's vitals function ceased, cause of death, circulatory system failure resulting from sepsis. The patient's body has been prepared for transport back to Cardassia Prime. So, we got 2 accidents and 3 possible uh-ohs. So, let's use the med kit. Alright. Auto suture. An auto suture is used to seal a traumatic or surgical wound to prevent infection, as well as to promote the healing of the wound by stimulating the patient's own natural healing processes. No, we don't need that one. Let's try the Neuralite probe. Neuralite probe is a device that makes up use of stabilized biological enzymes to cleave tissue samples from the brain or nervous system. The use of natural enzymes significantly lowers the trauma experienced by the patient, minimizes the amount of time necessary to recover from the procedure. Say, Captain, that tool should give us a better insight into the cause of death for the Cardassians in the mess hall. If we can use the Neuralite probe to obtain a sample of one of the Cardassians' brain tissue, we may be able to determine the cause of death. The Neuralite probe has determined that this individual died from a radical decrease in neural energy. It's almost as if he was drained by an outside source. All of the brain's activity came to a complete stop as its energy was depleted. There is a great deal of interference being picked up by the tricorder, most likely a result of an energy residue from whatever was used to do this to the Cardassian. Perhaps we can track it down by following the energy trail. There is the science lab across the hall from the med bay. It should have access to the ship's internal sensors. Alright. To the purple room. Conduct energy scan. Define, let's see, electroplasma. Is used by several known species as a means of transferring power from a central power source to outlying areas of a ship or outpost. Plasma serves as an efficient medium for maintaining a high state of energy even when moved or over a great distance and allowed to sit unused for long periods of time. For this reason, energized electroplasma can be stored in plasma canisters for transport and still arrive in a usable state. Now we gotta try something else here. Nuclear fission reaction. Nuclear fission is a common source of energy for non-spacefaring races. It provides a large amount of power with relatively little special knowledge. It is an unsuitable power source for interstellar travel. While races such as humans have used this source of power in the past, it has been surpassed by more efficient means of energy production that will not result in toxic waste byproducts that can severely damage organic life. Not this one. Omega energy. All information on Omega energy is classified. Ha! Polaric ions. Polaric ions have been used as a form of energy, however they are highly volatile and prone to subspace chain reactions. These reactions have been known to create subspace fractures that make warp travel impossible, as well as creating hazardous amounts of polaric radiation. There are no polaric ions anywhere on the ship. Okay. Now that just leaves triolic waves. Triolic waves are the result of a process called selective molecular polarization, in which a substance is modified at a fundamental level to convert matter into energy. Triolic energy is not used by any known species because they are known to cause deterioration of living tissue. Ha ha ha! I'm picking up a large concentration of triolic waves centered around the ship's bridge. Triolic waves are harmful to humanoids. We will not be able to be in the area for long, and Cardassians would be subject to the deleterious effects as well. They would not knowingly use triolic energy. I suggest we take a closer look. Whatever is causing triolic waves probably is responsible for the deaths of the Cardassians in the mess hall. Alright. Investigate energy signature on the bridge. Whoa! Whoa! What is that? What is that? It's heading for the bridge. What are you? Take the turbolift to the bridge. Defeat Davidians. What the devil? Whoa, what are these creepy guys? Ghosts. Ah. Oh, Jesus. Ay, 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 ay. Alright, that was him. Access the bridge controls. Okay. There's no mistaking them now, Captain. Those were Davidians. What's curious, though, is that Davidians are out of phase with us. Normally we can't see them without a subspace force field tuned with an extremely sensitive phase discriminator. We didn't have that. So how are they appearing in our reality? I recommend checking the Axon's crew log entries. Maybe they were doing something that made it easier for them to exist here. Access ship files. Read Chief Engineer's log.
Repairs to the Axon go as expected. Running low on deuterium and warp coils. Wish there was more time between battles to do more than patch critical systems. The time is the most precious commodity there is. 4 crewmen down. 1 died in battle with Klingon forces, but 3 others died in accidents. I have spoken to the captain about launching an investigation, but he sees nothing but his dreams of glory and a return to conquest. Unusual spike in triolic wave energy may be affecting warp core efficiency. Must speak to Triolic and see if his sensor readings have turned up anything unusual.
Okay.
Letter from Maja arrived today. She and the children are well, but she worries about me. She wants me to leave the true way and return to Cardassia Prime. 6 months ago, I would have ignored her. I see no end to this fighting. Perhaps she's right.
So the captain...
Our mission goes well. The Axon has disabled or destroyed 7 enemy ships. I look forward to reporting our successes. The Chief Medical Officer is concerned about casualties. It is his job to be mine is to operate this ship at peak efficiency. I have read his report about unexplained deaths and dismissed it. There is always an explanation. He simply hasn't looked hard enough for it. I cannot let his failings disrupt our mission. Goma Dread is looking for men of purpose to assist him. He wants leaders with the will to use whatever means are necessary to free our people from Federation tyranny. If all goes well, after this campaign, I will be seen as one of those leaders.
Uh-huh. Read Science Officer's log.
Science Officer's log, stardate 86790.8. My duties on a combat mission are limited, but I was pleased today to have a chance to scan the approaching Griffin's Comet. The comet itself has not been a focus of much scientific inquiry, and it last passed through this sector in the late 23rd century. My scans, however, reveal surprising amounts of triolic wave energy emitting from the comet, as well as detectable amounts of chronoton particles. The triolic waves will unfortunately prevent a closer study of the comet. They are quite harmful to humanoid life forms, and the captain is loath to jeopardize our mission for my curiosity. I have requested the launch of a Class 1 probe.
Alright.
The chronotons are of even greater interest. They appear in instances of temporal disturbances, which could mean that this comet has been, or will be, in the presence of a temporal event. Time mechanics are so cumbersome. I must have more data. But the captain has never had much interest in science. Perhaps I will remind him that chronoton particles are harmful against the aliens who live in the Bajoran wormhole. A potential weapon to use against the Bajoran's gods may be of enough interest to him to divert our course.
Okay. Captain, we should return to the ship. I'm sure Starfleet Command would want to know that there are Davidians in the neutral zone. These battlegrounds are now their feeding grounds. Oh dear.
Are you sure you found no sign of the Cardassians attempting to open a portal, or otherwise bring the Davidians into our phase variants? This is troublesome. There are pieces to the puzzle I don't have yet. Let me do some digging and I will be in touch.
Alright, thank you, Franklin Drake. And let's see what we can get here. Usually just get the phase shifted personal shields, because I don't know what the subspace field modulator does.
Until next time.
Alright, everybody. That's a nice quick little episode there. Skirmish. It was a quick little skirmish, as its name implied. So, hope everybody enjoyed our little Halloween-like little scare fest there with the Davidians, our little CSI version there on the autopsy there on a Cardassian. Wasn't as much as a skirmish as you thought it was it? Ha 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 ha. So, until the next one, everybody, hit the like button if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, I apologize. Hit the dislike button. And, of course, subscribe to the Captain Ron Phillips channel. There's going to be so much more coming. I appreciate everybody for coming on. I hope you enjoy it. Until then, this is Captain Ron Phillips telling you to keep a weather eye out on the horizon.